Thank you, Sean. Thank you for everyone at Icon Coaching.
Simon, congratulations, man. You know what that is?
That's winning.
It's winning, baby. I love it when you're winning. That's fantastic.
I got 2 under contract, so that's like 2.8 million in 2 weeks.
You've got to take control of your production to make sure that you're making more money, your bank account balance is rising, that your net worth is increasing, and that's what we want to see happen.
So that they can save the listing.
Which I'm really, really thankful for, Sean. Thank you.
See everyone coming on board. Welcome to Icon Coaching's webinar.
Dave Peralta, thank you so much for putting that together for all of us, and welcome everyone to the Icon Coaching webinar. And yeah, you might notice that my background's maybe a little bit different today. It's true. I'm traveling with my beautiful daughter and wife. She just turned 15 years old, and we said, what do you want to do? She said, I want to go to Grand Cayman. Okay, well, let's go. Now, I want you guys to learn how to generate and convert leads at the highest level possible. I've invited a good friend of mine, David Camp, in from Realty.com, who is just a master at many things, yet conversion is one of his specialties. So you're going to learn some tricks today, some tips that will undoubtedly help you get more traction and increase that bank account balance. I'm so glad you're here. Now, before we introduce David, a couple of things real fast. If you happen to be in the state of Texas, I really want you to go to our live training called Sales Surge. We're going to be in San Antonio, Austin, Houston, and Dallas. So guys, go to iconcoaching.com. It's free to attend. Just go ahead and register right now. Of course, we'll send you reminders and things like that. Yet I definitely want to see your face there in the audience of Sales Surge. You're going to learn about AI. You're going to learn about lead conversion, getting a buyer agency and listing contract signed every time. And we're also going to show you how to ring it out, how to get the most out of every deal in a live event where I get you guys for 4.5 hours. And I'm so excited to see you there. Look forward to being in your city at some point in the near future. So keep your eyes open, guys. Without any further delay, David Camp with Realty.com. Welcome, David. How you doing, buddy?
Good, Sean. Thank you. Pleasure to be here today. Absolutely grateful.
Well, I am grateful for your time, and you're just giving it from just a position of contribution, and I sincerely appreciate that. Give me a couple of things that these guys are going to learn during our time together today.
So I think number one is, how do you become the voice in your marketplace? What are the needs among the consumers in your local sphere? How can you understand what those needs are? And how can you secondarily position yourself to speak into the needs of your community, leveraging data that will give you insights and empower you to be that voice in a unique way?
No doubt. David, leveraging data and understanding the numbers undoubtedly puts them in the position of market expert. I think you would agree. I think it ups the professionalism when you can give some reference to actual data, actual numbers that they can get their teeth into and make educated and informed decisions. Right. By the way, when you can use numbers, when you can use the data to your advantage, well, then you have upped your level of competence and you've upped your level of confidence. And by the way, our buyers and sellers are looking for very confident people to work with. So David, what would recommend that every realtor gets their minds around? What are your thoughts?
So number one, I think you have to start with the fundamental understanding that your database is the most significant value that you maintain within your business. Now, it's often set aside, it's not refined, the things necessary to enrich your database aren't taking place. But rather than having this sort of, I've got to buy leads, what are you doing to build your pipeline? And the core component to the pipeline is your personal database. And ultimately, that personal database is your asset that can gain in value. If you spend time enriching it, if it's prioritized, it is your asset that gains value over time.
David, I'm so glad you brought that point up. I want to underline it just real quick, guys. The only thing that you're going to have that's worth anything to anyone when you choose to retire from real estate sales, well, it's what David's talking about. It's your database, and the more information you have within that database, the more engaged that database is, well, the more valuable it becomes. Yet when we did the rewrite of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, we did a ton of research, and what we discovered was the law of 12 to 2. For every 12 people you have in your sphere of influence, when you communicate with them systematically, gang, there are 2 deals to be had. So 12 to 2 ratio, let's do some math. 200 people in your database, you're closing over 30 transactions per year. And that's in addition to everything you're doing proactively, like open houses, door knocking, circle prospecting. Perhaps you're calling for sale by owners, expired listings, notice of default. Maybe you're doing business to business networking. Yet the point being a 12 to 2 ratio when you communicate with them systematically. Now, most agents, they say that sounds great, don't they, David? And yet the implementation and deployment
Yes.
of it is something that's a totally different story.
Yeah.
So how do you get realtors to get their mind around it? How do you get them to engage? What I recommend is a minimum 36 touches in a calendar year.
Yeah.
So 3 touches per month by land, by air, by sea in different modalities. So guys, it's text messages, direct message on social, it's personal phone calls, emails, it's snail mail, direct mail, whatever. But you've got to get that database, that sphere of influence engaged with you. So when they think real estate, they think you. Now, by the way, I've got a couple of books that I want to recommend just real quick. The first one is by Trout and Rice. It's called Positioning. I would recommend that you purchase that book, that you study that book. It is my marketing Bible. Also from the same authors, Trout and Rice, they wrote a book called The 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing. Guys, I encourage you to get your minds around the teachings of that book. It will serve you well in your career in real estate sales, promise. All right, David, back over to you, buddy. So give us a couple of points real fast. What are some things they could implement and deploy today to gain more traction?
Yeah, so the very first thing that I would recommend is identifying the current condition of your consumers in the marketplace today. Here's what I mean by that. I'll give you a very specific example. What we're seeing across the country in most major markets, homeowners are debt laden. So how are we helping our realtor partners address the need of households that are debt laden? Well, if you're in debt as a homeowner, you do have options. One option could be you have a home with equity, you can list that property. A second option may be a home equity line of credit. It may be a cash offer, or it may be a cash out refi. Right. So I have, if I've got equity and I'm dealing with debt, there's an opportunity for the realtor to speak into the life of that individual. That particular consumer doesn't have to remain under that burden of debt. And the real estate professional is the trusted advisor that can actually be the voice into that individual's life, into that home. And so one of the things that we do practically today is we will use our data to look into a market, and we see individuals who are showing a debt burden, right? There's certain attributes that help us identify that this is a debt burdened household. And then we can identify opportunities for the real estate professional to contact that particular homeowner, whether that's through hashtag email, whether that's through the ability to call multiple phone numbers, right? We can provide insight into who in the market is dealing with debt, but also give you an opportunity to contact that individual so that you can be a voice in the marketplace. One of the things that we're seeing today that's working very effectively is identifying people that are debt laden, but dropping postcards that drive that consumer or that household back to the real estate professional to help with that issue. And the result is, as I stated, some people are in an immediate need and they need a cash offer. Others perhaps have time and they want to list their home. Others can be connected with a lending partner that can help with a cash out refi or a HELOC. That's an immediate example. It's something that's taking place today. And we have some 650 real estate professionals today that every single month they're mining that market, delivering that message of I can help you deal with the debt issue, and it's resulting in new relationships, an expanded database, and obviously more opportunity.
That's huge. So what you're doing is you're helping real estate professionals list build around individuals that are under financial duress to earn their business so that they can cash out. Most homeowners have equity right now. Tell me
That's
why,
right.
David. Why do they have equity right now?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a continued rise in value. We have a lot of individuals, homeowners, for example, that are, in 3 and 4% interest rates in their home. So there's built-in equity. But what they fail to do is, you talked about this earlier, is they fail to do the math. And they think, well, I have this 3-4% interest rate, therefore I need to stay here. But what they're not realizing is that they can reduce the overall household burden and put themselves in a much better position from a stress level, a much better financial position that benefits their family. And the realtor is positioned to be that voice, period.
Yes. Yes. So you guys identify the candidates, the prospects, you identify them, you nurture them along. Now, let's say I sign up for realty.com as a client. What would you guys give me? Why would I sign up?
Yeah, so there's multiple things there, Sean, that can happen. One is we can provide the raw set of data that identifies people in a market, and you choose to drive your marketing efforts according to process or plans that you already have established. So that's simply just a data agreement. The second thing that we can do is we can help you enrich your current data. So you have a database, you have some idea of your market, but maybe we want to enrich your data and identify opportunities that exist within your current database. And then the third piece, obviously, is we have homeowners, consumers, whether it's an individual coming to the portal, they're coming to the portal and saying, hey, maybe I want to consider a cash out refi. So we'll actually on the spot allow them to see how much could they get for a cash offer on their home. Should they consider a home equity line of credit? These ultimately become leads. So you as a real estate professional can also move into a lead relationship with realty.com as well. So we can help you mine your market, we can help you enrich your database, or we can give you the opportunity to engage consumers that have need that are on the realty.com portal today.
Yes, that is fantastic, David. I love it. All right. So let's talk about lead conversion. And I want to hear your perspective on, why some agents aren't converting leads at a very high level, and what are some of the characteristics that you've picked up on for those teams that you guys work with, those agents you work with that are converting at a very high level? What are the profound points of differentiation between the two?
Yeah, I mean, Sean, this is there is no easy method. There is no secret sauce other than you have to choose to build process. Number one, you've got to be committed to the grind of process. And that's not just the idea that I'm going to pay someone to follow up with the leads or to engage my database. You have to step back and you have to build a process. And you said this earlier when you talked about positioning. And if I have to position myself as the professional all the way through the funnel, through the process completely. So it's imperative that as the professional, you walk that process every single step. What communication should happen, when that communication should occur, how should I speak into the life of this individual based on where this individual is in the process. It's critical that you own it, that you build it, and that you develop the process. Once you develop the process, it's then what are the resources that are going to enable you to execute. So you may have outside resources, Sean, it could be a call center, whatever you may choose, but it is critical that you define the process, that you're a part of that, you identify the resources that are going to enable you to scale that process. And the clients that we're working with today that are most successful are not cutting corners. They're choosing to work the process, to continue to work the process and develop it over and over and over again. And that's the commitment that has to be made. There is not a silver bullet where I buy the magic lead of the day. The ones that are most successful, the teams that are seeing the highest level of conversions, are what I would refer to as process ninjas. They live by it. They understand the top of the funnel, the bottom of the funnel. They know exactly how they're going to move from point A to point B.
Undoubtedly. Well, I think there's several reasons that realtors don't convert leads at a very high level. Let's talk about that just for a moment to get the context for our conversation today. So the speed to lead. And David, what have you guys found at realty.com around speed to lead and why that's important?
Yeah, I mean, speed to lead is happening in seconds. And there's there's some methodology that is used where the phone call sequence, the text sequence, the communication sequence is timed, and it's timed with purpose. But speed to lead, number one. But number two is you have a responsibility to maintain that communication sequence. The timing of it, what you say when you say it, is not just related to getting to that consumer first, but it's also critical that you're timing every single step of that process thereafter. And so when it comes to speed to lead, what we have noticed is that typically about 72% of all the consumers that are connected with that agent will work. If it's the first agent to contact them, they will work with that particular agent. 72% of the consumers in our data, if you get connected as the agent, they will remain with you, period.
Yes, that is a huge number. 72% only talk to one agent before they make a decision to work with them.
Period.
So they can end up with a weak agent in a weak moment. We don't want to see that happen. Yeah. You want to earn their business. So it's about speed to lead, number one. Second reason that I see a lot of people not converting leads at a very high level is number of attempts. So David, what are you guys seeing at realty.com around number of attempts? When it works, when it doesn't work, what are you guys seeing?
We're at a minimum between our clients that are most successful. The overall number of contacts ranges from 24 to 36. So there is, and we had just recently the other day where someone converted a lead that had been in the database for 1,587 days. And the problem with that is it's very easy for us, especially sales professionals, to get in a 30, 60, 90-day mindset, and we forget the power of pipeline. And so my challenge would be, how many of you really think about the power of pipeline? And someone enters into a relationship with you the moment that there's the opportunity to connect. That's phone call, that's text, that's email, or personal handshake. That individual enters into that relationship with you. How does that person enter into your pipeline, and how do you develop the relationship so when that individual is ready to make a decision, you are in the position to be the trusted advisor? Most of us, as professionals in the sales arena, we do not maintain the discipline that is required to be at the right place at the right time to meet the need of that person. If it's not in that 30, 60-day window, we become apathetic, and we lose the discipline. Therefore, we lose the opportunity. Think pipeline, be disciplined in pipeline thought. Don't allow yourself to become apathetic in that process. And then over time, you're going to build a large enough pipeline that I believe will sustain your business long term. It's no longer about the panic of the moment. It's about the business that you built 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Isn't that the truth? See, a lot of people are struggling right now in real estate. Let's agree. And guys, it's not that you didn't do the work yesterday that was appropriate, that left you where you're at today. It's work that you didn't do probably 90 to 120 days ago, that you didn't do then, that's showing up today. We get that. So what's going to show up for you in 90 to 120 days? I'm just curious. Do you want an abundance of leads? I'd encourage you to reach out to realty.com, set up a demo. They'll do the lead gen for you. They'll hand you qualified leads. And then all you have to do is focus on conversion. So I do want to talk about conversion a little bit more today, and the what to say and how to say it. In fact, Day, if you wouldn't mind, post to the chat the 7-step conversion formula. Guys, I've split test this to the moon and back. I've helped teams that were, I've helped them increase their lead conversion by, hear this, over 600%, leveraging this very simple 7-step formula. Yet there's a couple of points that I do want to make, and I want to drill deeper on them. So each one of you will be able to download all 7 steps in a simple PDF. You can either go to iconcoaching.com, grab it there, or Day, I think you're going to put that in the chat here. So go ahead and post it in the chat. You can grab it there. So I'd encourage you to start this conversation with alternative choice, right? So what is the alternative choice question that you'd like to ask? For me, I just simply say, hey, I'm calling to update my file, see if you're still in the market to buy a home, or did you decide to rent? See, alternative choice eliminates a lot of that wishy-washy, well, I'm just curious, we're just looking, I'm calling for a friend, and you guys know their scripts, right? They have scripts to get rid of you, just like we have scripts to earn their business. So start with an alternative choice. And when you do that, again, you're going to get the answer that you want. See, if they're in the market to buy a home, they're going to reject this idea of renting to make somebody else wealthy. So they want to give you the answer that you want. Oh, we're in the market to buy. Fantastic. I'll tell you what I just did. Logged into the multiple listing service platform. In a matter of moments, I can tell you every listing that matches your specific search criteria. So tell me, how many bedrooms do you need? How many bathrooms? You guys know the questions to ask. Do you need a formal dining room? What part of town are you interested in? You want a newer home, older home, any particular style? You know the questions. So step 2 is log into the multiple listing service. Step 3 is to build rapport based on their needs. Also in step 3, if we can get to the why, that's fantastic. Step 4, well, that's relatively simple because it happens automatically. You notice that there are 14 listings that match that buyer's search criteria. So you just simply disclose, hey, I have fantastic news, David. I got 14 listings that match your specific search criteria. Now, this is the magic moment. David, I think you would agree with me. This is the time to close. This is where the mood for acceptance is about as close as it's going to get. So I want you to close right here, right now. So how do you close? Don't say anything cheesy like, well, would you like to get together? David, does that work?
No.
Definitely. No, they say no. I want you to leverage a system, a simple framework to close. I call it the ABCs, and it's nothing cheesy like always be closing. It stands for action, benefit, commitment. What is the action you want them to take? Let's set an appointment. We can meet face-to-face or on Zoom if you'd prefer. That's the action. Now, the question you ask them to take, the moment you ask them to take an action, there's a question that appears in their mind. David, what do you suppose that question is? Like if I asked you to do something, what question might pop into your head?
When?
Okay, when? That's a high-class question that they would have, right? Yet most of the time, you might agree, well, it might be why, right? Why would I do that? In essence, what's in it for me?
Yeah.
So after articulating the action you want them to take, you segue right into the benefit. What's in it for them? Why would they say yes? So I'm going to pull up all the photos, the virtual tours, the drone footage, and floor plans of every property that matches your unique search criteria. See, that way you can view them on screen before you spend your money on gas to drive by them or waste your time. Plus, I'm going to share with you several proven negotiating strategies that will help you get the best price on the home you buy. And finally, I'm going to share a list of off-market options. So ideally, you can purchase your home without any competition whatsoever. So tell me, what is the best time for you and I to get together? Is it mornings or afternoons? Action, benefit, commitment. And the commitment is simple. It's alternative choice. Guys, you can't go action, commitment. You can't just go straight to the commitment because you'll have a lot of people no-showing you if they did say yes. If the benefit is strong enough, if there's a perception of a form of value that I'm going to receive by giving up my time, giving up my attention to you as a realtor, well, then I'm going to show up. In absence of a perception of value, I'm going to no-show you. I trust this makes sense to you guys. Now, at this point, they might object. So step 6 is to handle any objections. There's 9 common buyer objections. By the way, if you go to iconcoaching.com, you can download all 9 objections and the transcribed objection handlers. I'd encourage you to do that. Practice to the point that you can't get it wrong. Then step number 7 is to qualify. Really quite a simple process. Now there's 3 areas we must qualify. Number 1 is the needs of the prospect. Does that property exist? Well, you've already done a live MLS search for them. So yeah, you can check that box. The second area you must qualify is financial. Now, I never asked a buyer, David, believe it or not, are you pre-qualified? Are you pre-approved? You know why? Forgive my language. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I don't give a shit. I don't. Why? Because that paper that it's printed on, it's not even worth it. You follow me?
Yeah.
I mean, lenders just willy-nilly give out pre-approval letters all the time. Guys, I learned my lesson on this early in my career, and I'm thankful for this lesson. I took a buyer out the first weekend. They said they were approved, took them at face value, got the pre-approval letter, took them out the first weekend, showed them like 30 houses. Difficult buyers. Took them out the second week, showed them at another 10 houses, took them out the third weekend, narrowed it down to the one they want to buy, wrote, negotiated the contract, completed the home inspection. Then I get a call from the lender, David. Guess what they said?
Approved.
They can't qualify. You see, what you want is you want your lender, somebody that you know, like, and trust, to give you the thumbs up that, hey, this is worth your time. Okay. So position your lender. So I never asked, are you pre-approved or pre-qualified? Rather, I just said, let me ask, are you paying cash or do you need financing? Oh, I'm already pre-approved through Wells Fargo. Or no, Sean, I wish I could pay cash. I need a loan. If it has anything to do with them getting a mortgage, step 2 is the same. Okay, this 3-step formula, by the way, when you apply this, it's going to make you hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, over the course of your career. 3 steps. Step 1, are you paying cash? Do you need financing? Oh, you need financing. Fantastic. Would it be okay with you if I help you save money on your mortgage? Who says no to that? Come on, David. Everybody says yes. Would you agree?
Right.
Yeah.
Sean, do you think, a quick question with that, are you continuing to see a greater demand on the real estate agent around understanding of finance, right? Because we've lost so many loan officers with the change in the market. They have actually seen the power of technology has really reduced the number of loan officers that are required. So the consumer is actually leaning greatly into the real estate agent as to what are the next steps in the direction that I should go. Are you experiencing that as well?
I am. However, with a caveat, if you've got a great lender, you don't need to be the expert. A great lender is going to help you soar with your real estate career, guys. And an average lender, you're going to struggle. There's no doubt about that. So very quickly, let me finish the 3 steps. Are you paying cash? Do you need financing? Would it be okay with you if I help you save money on your mortgage? It's always a yes. Then we're back to the ABCs. Remember, it's action, benefit, commitment. So I'd like to get your permission to have my lender give you a call. That's the action. Question appears in their mind. What's in it for me? I'm going to go into the benefit. This lender consistently beats other lenders in our market area, both in closing costs and interest rates. And let's face it, even a 1/8% difference on interest rate on a 30-year mortgage could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So tell me, when's the best time for my lender to give you a call? Is it weekdays, weekends, or the next 15 minutes? Guys, bottom line is this. It is immaterial whether they use your lender or not. It doesn't matter. All you want is somebody that you know, like, and trust to give you a thumbs up. Say, yep, your time is well spent here. See, because when you say yes to one thing, you say no to everything else. There's no doubt about that. So back to you, David. I'm sorry I had to get off on that tangent. I just wanted to explain the 7-step formula, how it works and why it works. Guys, apply it. And I promise you, you're going to get more of what you want when you want it, no doubt. Okay, so back to realty.com, David. And I'm just going to let you just pour on the value, give them the benefits. Why does realty.com exist?
Yeah, I think number one, realty.com is focused on the real estate agent, period. It was founded over the need to provide benefit to agents in a very localized community. There are so many companies that are out there today that have identified themselves as being pro agent, and I would say that realty.com from the onset made a commitment to promoting the agent in the local market and driving opportunity in the local market. The other piece too is the leads are exclusive. So in the marketplace, if you own that market, it is an exclusive lead. It's not a lead that is tossed around to 5 different, 10 different agents in a market. That's been a commitment from the very beginning, and it's remained in place today. Now, the other piece that we certainly have identified as value is our ability to leverage our multiple domains. So when it comes to strategy, our strategy is not just based on a single domain like realty.com. We're driving traffic from a variety of sources. We own domains like texas.com, estimate.com. We own listing.com, right? So there's all of these sources that we've leveraged to funnel organic opportunity to the real estate agent and or the team leader. So I would say focused on the agent, focused on exclusivity, and uniquely focused on trying to identify individuals that are organic in the marketplace that have a need for the real estate agent. I think those are 3 primary differences that we're trying to drive into the marketplace today.
Now, would you say that realty.com, the leads provided, are they the majority, are they seller leads or are they buyer leads, or is it about a 50-50 split? Talk to me.
Depends on market, right? I mean, obviously we've seen a huge upswing in seller related demand. The number of cash offer requests that we have today that are going through the portal has increased significantly and that is for a variety of reasons. There's been sort of this stall in just general demand. So there's been interest in cash offers. You do have the debt problem, which I talked about earlier. That can be a quick solution to, but we're working with our agents to help them leverage. I believe the cash offers become the new AVM from the very beginning, as opposed to me as a consumer looking and saying, what's the value of my home? They're choosing, hey, let me see what I could get cash today and you have to have a plan for that, because more and more, that's where the consumer is starting. And what is your plan? Do you have a cash offer partner? Are you using companies like an Easy Street Offer, a Homeward, others, so that you have a solution, create a conversation that ultimately leads to a listing opportunity, but they are beginning at cash offer. So, but I would say we're weighted right now, seller opportunity versus buyer opportunity. About, I would say 60-40 seller side opportunities.
Right on, David. I love it. Guys, success leaves clues. There's no doubt about that. As I look at Mark Spain, over 8,000 transactions, Chris Water over 5,000, Lance Logan over 4,000. Guys, their number 1 lead magnet for online seller lead generation is the cash offer. Now, as David said, through Homeward, through Easy Street, if you happen to be with, say, EXP, you could be part of the Express Offers community, where you can give a cash offer to anybody in your state within 24 hours, close as soon as 10 business days. Yet that's not the point. Even though you get paid twice on those deals, and they're quick deals, they're cash in your bank account. That's not the point I'm trying to get your mind around. The cash offer is like the lost leader, you understand. See, you get a request for a cash offer. You upload it to Express Offers, Homeward, Easy Street, wherever, to get your cash offer. Then you submit it to the seller along with the net sheet, just like this. You say, listen, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you don't have to accept this cash offer through Express Offers or Easy Street or whomever. You don't have to accept it. Yet, here's what you would net. For an as-is immediate liquidation offer, you're going to pay a premium. And here's what you would net. Now, if you'd prefer, we take it to the open market based on those homes that have recently sold, those homes you'd be competing with for a buyer. Here's what you could fetch in the open market, and here's what you would net, significantly more than the cash offer. Given the 2 choices, which do you prefer? Now, I've done all the research behind EXP's Express Offers, by the way. Over 200,000 cash offers they put forward. 97% of the time, gang, they are rejecting the cash offer, and they probably list with the EXP agent who brought it to them. I hope this makes sense to you guys. It's an easy way to generate seller leads. Getting buyer leads, David, that's simple. Anybody can do that. Just advertise pictures of houses. You get an abundance of buyer leads. Now, getting seller leads is profoundly more difficult. I think you would agree.
Yeah.
So this is an easy fix.
Yeah. The other thing too, Sean, is I would really spend time, if you're doing lead purchasing from whatever the source, I would really take the time to understand the mix that is right for you. So one of the things that we have moved toward is in our realty lead services, you may be stronger with a listing mix, a heavier listing mix. Your volume, maybe it needs to be 70% list side and 30% buyers. So we try to take the time now to understand your mix, because we can drive additional volume based on the expertise, based on the process, and your ability to scale a particular type of lead. We do work with a lot of agents that have built systems that allow buy side to scale and scale really well. They'll rush into list side opportunities and they're really not prepared. They're not prepared with scripts. They're not prepared with follow-up sequence. So really understand who you are, and we can help drive the mix based on your ability to scale. But in those areas where you've got deficiencies, begin to build out those processes so that you can increase, a buy side or a list side mix based on your preferences. So a lot of times we just think a lead is a lead. You can't think that way. You have to understand your ability and your ability to scale and make sure you're inserting that volume first.
Makes total sense, David. I love it. Now, Realty.com, I asked you guys to come up with something special for our followers here, the people who are live and active on this webinar. What do you intend to do for them?
Yeah, so the first 10 individuals that choose to reach out to me at dcamp@realty.com, I'll set up a demo with you, and we're going to give away for the first 10 one free month in your marketplace, whether that's data oriented or lead oriented. I will meet with you personally, determine what your preference may be, spend time with you. What's the right mix? Should you be the voice in your market, go a data path? Should you go a lead path? But the first 10 people, Sean, that connect with me will get a full free month.
Fantastic. And what is typical for that month? How many leads would be generated for this agent?
So if we go the lead path, it will typically be somewhere between 20 and 40 leads a month. If we go the data path, where you're looking to mine your market, we'll be able to provide about 75 contacts that we will help you attack in your marketplace, your particular local sphere.
Right on. And that's true. Just understanding the data, what they're doing online, their habits, what they're doing, it kind of gets them to raise up to the top based on your understanding of how to really manipulate the data to identify those that are most likely to list or buy.
Well, that's part of scaling. If you've got an understanding of not just the lead, but if you've got an understanding of the actual intent of that lead, it does give you the ability to score properly and put those people in a position. And that's critical if you're going to scale your business. That's what we've seen. It takes today, I've got to work 100 opportunities to maintain my volume. And so you've got to have systems and process to be able to scale and bring on that additional workload. And we'll help walk through that and coach through that, Sean, and also making sure that we refer them back over to you if they need more time, more in-depth analysis. Working with coaches like you provides a great benefit to our general client base as well.
Oh, no doubt. Well, we'll help you guys get a significant return on investment. Now, by the way, I'm never going to offer anything to you guys that I don't believe in myself. In fact, I need to see results before I put it in front of you. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, Chris Craddock, one of my clients, by the way, he'll close about 800 transactions this year. He said about 12% of their business comes through Realty.com.
Yeah.
So that kind of made me raise my eyebrows a little bit, David. And he's closing over 100 transactions a year from Realty.com leads, as well as just getting access to the data and how they're manipulating the data, understanding the data to really guide their salespeople's actions. It's super helpful. So when I heard that from Chris, I said, man, I need to get to know David. I need to understand what Realty.com is doing to enable
Yeah.
you to close over 100 transactions per year.
Funny story,
one.
Sean, funny story with Chris, is he was doing a coaching call with his group, right? Those that he works with. And one of the agents was saying, I'm not having any success with these list side leads, and they were griping. And Lance, the principal at and CEO at realty.com, was on that phone call. Lance went into the database and he picked up the phone, called that particular owner of that listing. In the middle of the conversation, got the owner on the phone and scheduled an appointment for that agent that said, I'm not having any success. And Chris actually released a video on social media talking. He said it's never happened before. So the point is, it's you. We got people around you that will help you create the process, create the disciplines, and experience the results.
Right on. So guys, send the email, do it right away. Be one of those first 10 that would just engage in a demo with David to understand realty.com, to understand their value ladder, understand their product offerings, to enhance your business, increase your bank account. That's what it's all about. So decamp@realty.com. And by the way, guys, if maybe you want a little help building your business, scaling your business, maybe you're thinking about starting a team and applying leverage, I'd love to help you. In fact, if you're looking to engage with a coach, let me throw my hat in the ring. I'd encourage each and every one of you, by the way, even if you have no intention to engage with a coach, to schedule a free coaching session with me. Just 30 minutes of your time. No high pressure tactics, no close, no expectation whatsoever. Only clarity. Clarity in action, clarity in strategy. That's what I want to provide to you. And again, I don't want anything from you. I just want to help you achieve at the highest level possible. So, Day, would you mind posting to the chat my scheduling link for these wonderful participants today? Again, just schedule with me. No cost, no obligation, no ask, just clarity. Let me help you guys. Go ahead and schedule. Do it right now. And David, what are your final thoughts and words of wisdom? And we'll open it up to Q&A.
Yeah, so I would say take the time to step back and pause. Look at your marketplace, understand the needs of that marketplace, and really ask yourself this question: am I the voice properly speaking into my local market? Do I understand the need of those individuals, and am I positioning myself to step into that need? You know, often when we're selling, we take the time to promote our value without really ever understanding the customer. And so the challenge is to pause, understand your market, understand the client, and develop the voice that you need to be into that marketplace today. An example with that, maybe you are partnered with someone that can help people move their way out of debt, and the home is an asset that can help make that happen. Or maybe you are the voice for that first-time home buyer, and maybe you're the voice for someone who's in that season of life that's downsizing. You choose what you can best speak into, but pause and step back and really position yourself accordingly. That's what I would leave with you today. That's where we're seeing the most success. Our agents and our partners are being intentional about who they are and how they speak into the marketplace.
Absolutely. I heard it like this one time: mass appeal equals no appeal. So pick your lane. What is it that you want to focus on? I want you to think about your 10 favorite past clients. What position were they at? And perhaps they were your favorite clients because that's an area of the market that you're really good at servicing. This could be the demographic of the avatar, the agent, or the individual, the candidate, the prospect you're going after. To all of your outbound marketing should speak to that. It really should. And yet inbound, you'll take any lead. Of course, you specialize in expired listings or those trying to sell it for sale by owner. You specialize in those buyers that missed out on a multiple offer situation 2 years ago. You specialize in that, right? But outbound marketing, pick your lane and give them what they want, not what they need. Give them what they want. All right, David. Well, this is so good. Let's go ahead and open to Q&A, and we'll just give them 10 seconds here. Real quick, any questions from the audience? Go ahead and type to the chat if you'd like. All right, dcamp@realty.com. Guys, go ahead and schedule your demo. Seriously, check it out. I'd never recommend you do this if it didn't bring an ROI to my client. So I want to make sure that you do that. Make it happen right away. Text David Camp at
And Sean,
770.
I did put my cell if they want to text me as well. That's an easy way for me to get in contact with them. That's my personal cell number there, and I will take the time to jump on the phone with them and help them get started.
David, I love it. And I want to see realty.com just dominate the market. You guys are doing a great job. And it's a lesser cost per lead than other platforms that I've analyzed over the course of the last 6 months, guys. It is much less expensive, and yet you're getting the same value, the same benefit. So get on the call with David, do a demo, understand realty.com, and make a decision. Maybe it's right for you, maybe it's not, yet you never know until you investigate it. Guys, we do this every single week. I encourage you to show up every single week. We just want to strengthen your foundation by improving your knowledge, your skills, your mindset, and your habits through this process of life, of career building. Let us help you. Keep showing up every Tuesday. Until then, just be on purpose, be productive. And as always, gang, be powerful. David, a huge thank you to you and to realty.com. And 1 month free, guys. Let's make that happen. And thank you, Dave Peralta, for posting to the chat. Live Sales Surge is coming. She put the link there for you guys. If you happen to be in Texas or you don't mind traveling to Texas, go ahead and go to iconcoaching.com. Check out Sales Surge. Go ahead and register. Do it right away. And by the way, I'm also looking for panelists, top producer panels. If you happen to live in that city and you want to be on a panel with me, please reach out. Talk to you all soon. David, thank you so much again.
Thank you, brother.
My pleasure. Let's do it again at some point in the future, near future. All righty. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.